Hello, 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 and welcome back to the ArmChair Pundits podcast. How you guys doing?
Yeah, man, all good. It's been a good day. Everyone else? Mont, how you feeling?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Trying to get rid of some dead wood at United, but slowly.
And
Yeah,
you?
better watch out for them
Leon?
splinters, bro. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
deadwood there still.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Boy, so
Yeah,
this
I'm all
week,
right, man. Not too bad. Sorry, James. Yeah, I'm good.
How you doing, James? Though, because this window has been quite, it's been quite good for you, right?
you know me, I've always got complaints. Nah,
Never
it's all good.
satisfied.
It's all good. Obviously, it's a bit sad, not weird to sing the Luis Diaz song anymore. It was the best song in the league. But that's left us. But it might have opened a door for someone else that we'll talk about later. But generally, can't really complain, if I'm being honest. Actually, I can. Who is it that said to me I was always moaning? And I said to them about I need another centre back because I can't trust Joe Gomez. And they were like, oh. And what happened? Joe Gomez has an Achilles injury. So we now have two centre backs.
Wow,
Well, it weren't none of us that said trust God Joe Gomez because we know what he's like.
100% not.
No way.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely.
But you're
definitely
moaning when I said I
criticise you
wanted
for
more
moaning.
centre backs.
Yeah, we're just moaning because
No, we
you're
got
still
two.
moaning when you've had the
We got two
best
centre
flipping
backs.
transfer window you've ever had in your life. This
Yes.
is a FMS transfer window. Yes, you do need
It
another
is.
centre back. Agreed.
It is.
But
Two.
it's unbelievable transfer window for you guys, man.
yeah, straight up.
Thing is, you probably end up getting one anyway.
No,
They will. They'll
be
sign someone low key.
at the end of the window. But yeah, if it's the first time you're watching, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification button. So we will move on to the first topic, which kind of has been brought up already, but it's Liverpool, it's Newcastle, and a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, there were Newcastle fans laughing how Newcastle done a number on Liverpool, how they forced us to get our number two, and now they're keeping our number one, blah 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 blah. And a week and a half later, that number one was out.
Well, you
Out,
know,
and he only wants to go to Liverpool apparently.
you know what the saying is, isn't it? Who last, loudest.
So I'm still not 100% sure it's actually going to go through because they can, with 3 years left, they can still say to him, just sit and chill. They've got enough money and they can deal with the consequences once the window closes. That's still an option. How likely that is with like 35 days of the window to go is another story. But have Liverpool played a blinder by saying to them, okay, cool, we want your guy, but if you're not going to give us that guy, we're going to take Ekatike, and now we're back in for Isak.
Yeah, you know what? That is one of the coldest moves in football history.
It's cold, but I wouldn't say it's deliberate because in a way, I don't think you could say this is a chess move, but it's not really because Newcastle could quite easily say, look, we'll just ride it out. He's got 3 years left. They don't have to sell him. Like they're in no financial position where they have to sell, but they do need to make some money back to improve their PSR, quote or whatever. But to me, I just feel like if Isak wants to go, it's going to be difficult for them to keep him. And I think Liverpool have put
Difficult.
themselves...
Why? Difficult. Why?
Because do you want an unhappy player in your team? It all depends on how... Well, it depends on what level. Are you going to get the best version of Isak? Is he going to be professional knowing that he wants to?
You will. Do you know why? What's happening next year?
What, World Cup?
Bruv, them man, they want to play, bro. Them man, they want to play.
Are Sweden even in contention to get there?
We'll look at that. But what I'm saying is, obviously, even if they're not in the World Cup, let's just say they're not, yeah? Let's just not say they're not. He's still going to want to be featuring in all the other games that they're going to have around the time where there's international break. So I hear what you're saying, but if he's now going to decide, for example, that he's going to almost go against his contract, where he's been contracted to Newcastle for the remaining 3 years, or the next 3 years, he's gonna not perform to his optimum and start going in reverse. That means next summer is going to be a very long summer for him, because ain't no one going to want him next summer. So realistically, he's going to have to churn them numbers out again at Newcastle. But maybe, like you said, Lee, he might start slyly causing a rift in the changing rooms in terms of what he wants to do and doesn't want to do. So maybe that might happen. But I can't see his performances lacking as such.
I don't think it's necessarily about the performance.
Sometimes it's natural. You go.
No, as I say, I don't think it's necessarily about the performance, but do you want that player in and around the squad that is not happy to be there, that it disrupts like the team harmony and how things are moving forward? Like you can say that Newcastle don't have to sell him, but we said months ago, oh, Newcastle got Champions League football, he doesn't need to go to Liverpool because of that, or Liverpool can't sign him because of that. And now look, he's saying, look, I want to go to a team that is essentially a bigger team and looks like they can win things now. Whereas Newcastle, they've won a Carling Cup, but he wants more than that. So as much as you can say that Newcastle don't have to sell him, but that can be a lot of negativity and a lot of negative energy around the team and around the squad, which no team wants, because it meshes up cohesion.
And without a backup yet, if you don't have him firing, then you're finished. Don't forget they've got Champions League.
And Wilson's gone as well now. Yeah, he's left.
Yeah, Wilson's gone. They got Willa Sula, but he's young. And can they afford to keep him unhappy? Because the problem they have, so the backstory of this whole thing is, he wanted a new contract. This was 18 months ago or so. And they said, yeah, you can have a new contract. Then, so that was under Staveley and the guy, her partner or business partner, whatever his name is. And then they got a new director of football, Paul Mitchell comes in, looks at the books and is like, he's got 4 years left of his contract. Why are we giving him a new one for? So it's like, he's like, what do you mean? What's going on? So he gets vexed, obviously, asks for another contract. They say no. So apparently he asked to leave last season. They say no. So now, 12 months later, he's had a very, very, very good season. And the 300k he was supposed to get, they're saying it's not happening. And Paul Mitchell, since causing this problem, has been sacked, which makes it even worse. The guy that's caused the issue has now been booted for upsetting people. And now you've got Isak in a situation where apparently it's been said if he'd been offered a contract this time last year, he would have signed it and he'd have been calm. And now it's like, cool, you've broken promises, I'm not looking to stay. So you're not going to turn that around. Realistically, he's been unhappy for almost a year. You're not going to turn that around. So you have to find a way to get rid, I reckon.
Yeah, Liverpool are moving. That's so ruthless, man. To sign the second guy that they wanted, and then you've unsettled him, and then you're going to say everyone thought that this deal was dead. To be fair, we've thought that this deal was in the water for months. No, yeah, everyone thought. But I'm talking about like the wider football public. No one thought that Liverpool were going to be able to get Isak, and we're not saying that he is, but it's looking increasingly more likely that he's going to be going there. And
now Diaz is going. They've got extra money to spend, so it's like they've got the money to do it if they need to do it, and they can. And they've also got the fact that they've got flexibility within their front line. Most of the players they have can play in multiple positions, so they're laughing right now if they manage to pull this one off as well.
Yeah, I slightly feel like they're gonna draw this one out as long as they can, because realistically he's proven. So for them, they don't need to go early with him because
they don't.
So they can ride
Newcastle
it out
need to.
Newcastle ship.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think Newcastle can afford. This is what I'm saying. They can't afford to drag it on because they don't have no backup strikers. Like the guy you mentioned, Wilson Sula. Bro, he's not ready yet. They lost Wilson, who was always injured anyway. He was a good backup, but he was always injured. That was a problem with him. They don't have anyone. There's no one that can fill in that role. So for them, they need the money ASAP so they can go and get someone when a lot of the players that would have been available are already starting to go off the market because they're being bought or have deals elsewhere. So Newcastle don't really have much bargaining power here.
So let me tell you this. Were they stupid then? Because before Ekitike came through, we said, cool, we're going to give you. We'll start at 120. They knew that Ekitike was on our list, so why not just take the 120, buy Ekitike, or even buy Ekitike first,
and have some change.
Liverpool,
Yeah,
buy Ekitike, buy
Bro, a lot of
Sesko.
it is ego.
You buy both of them.
They
Yeah.
don't remember, for them it's ego, bro. Like them guys that actually own the club have big money. They're like, money is not a thing for us. We want to hang on to our best players.
Yeah.
But if the player doesn't want to be there, you're kind of stuck. So they really, having an ego only works in certain circumstances, and it all depends on what you're willing to do to make that player sign a new deal in it.
Okay. Well, I did have another topic on the agenda, but this moves us nicely because we did mention that they're struggling to get their players, and you've got Patrick Schick. I keep telling him to go buy Patrick Schick.
Yeah, true.
We've got Sesko, where now we're in a little shake-up because Man United are now deciding, okay, if no one else is going to stop Liverpool, we'll try to stop Liverpool.
Yeah.
Let us try and get Sesko. So Newcastle have no option but to keep Isak. So do you think, Lamont, that you have any chance with Sesko?
I think we have a bit of a chance with Sesko for a few reasons. One, he knows he's going to start, more or less as soon as he's match fit. And there's been a lot of paper talk and a lot of speculation about him linking him to us from the jump. So I feel like if he's got anything about him and his agent's got anything about him, he'll just go to a place where he knows that he will land and be given the opportunity to play. Whereas at Liverpool, they've got
Newcastle.
Sorry, Newcastle. At Newcastle, it's a big risk because if he goes there, right,
Champions League football,
he's going to play.
Yeah, but will they get rid of Isak though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not late in the window, bruv. Not late in the window.
No, but
this is why we're saying that they need to do this.
It'll be now. It'll be now.
164
Sesko's ready to go now, bro.
From what they're saying about 164 million for Isak, they can go comfortably sign.
It won't be that. It won't be 164.
I'm just saying that's what they say.
Yeah, we're not that mad. It'll be like 130, 140, I reckon.
Where either way, that's enough to go to sign him. And I think, I do think Sesko, the price that he is, they want like 80 for him, right?
Yeah, they want 70, 80 mil. I don't, bruv, I just can't see United parting with that. They won't get it. United ain't going to part with that.
Everyone's been quoting mad figures, but most of the time those clubs come down on, like, how many times have we seen the reported figure and all of a sudden the price drops a little bit? Benjamin Sesko is not Wirtz, so he's not guaranteed. Like, he's still an unknown entity. To me, for Man United to sign Sesko is as much of a risk as signing Højlund, because as much as Højlund had less
less goals by far,
less goals and less games, Benjamin Sesko hasn't lit up the Bundesliga. One thing we do know about him, he seems like the hybrid. He's one of those tall guys who has tech. It's like having another kind of Peter Crouch. He's got tech and he knows how to bring players into the game. So you can see that he's got a good base because you know he can hold the ball up. But the question is, in the Premier League, where you don't have the time that you have in other leagues, in the Bundesliga, there's times where you see strikers with acres of space and you're like, how have they got this much space? In the Premier League, you don't have that. You don't have time. So it'll be interesting to see if it works. But the good thing is that for Man United, you've bought players to create chances. So it'll be interesting to see if you do manage to get a proper number 9.
And to score.
And to score, to be fair, he should be able to get goals.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I don't think he would be a bad addition to the United squad. I just feel like, obviously, where there's speculation with Newcastle, and I'm even hearing like, the likes of Chelsea and even Al Hilal again are kind of sniffing around the likes of Sesko. All that's going to do is just drive his market value up. Do you get what I'm saying? So we've capped it at, we're not going to go higher than, say, 65, 70 mil. But once all these other clubs start getting involved, they automatically drive the value up of the player, and it's like United they're not going to be in the race for him. It's going to get silly. It's going to get silly.
Brother. Bro, the thing is, the reason the market value... That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't want Calvert-Lewin.
No, we don't.
He's not available. He's never fit.
He's not even available when he's available, bro.
But the reason that the market value has been driven up is because there's a striker shortage.
Yeah, that as well.
Like quality strikers. If you ask any team what striker do you want, they name the same 5 strikers. So obviously that the price the teams selling are in a better position than the teams buying. At the moment, it's a buyer's market. So it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market. It's a seller's market. So like, yeah, they can almost command whatever they want. Like, do you want goals or do you not? Oh, like go get someone else. Go get like Bjorn Christensen from Slavia Prague. I don't know if there's a Bjorn Christian that plays for Slavia Prague. I'm just saying, like, you're going for someone that nobody knows. Do you know what I mean? Rather than all of these names that are getting touted out there, and especially if you're Man United, you need something ready.
I think the only way
Man United are fighting for Wissa, isn't it? With Newcastle.
Well, there's a little bit of a battle there, but I feel like for us at the minute, the reason why I feel like this whole us battling with other clubs is it might not work for us unless the player actually wants to come to us, yeah. And he said, you know, right, like in Boma, for example, we need to offload the dead wood, like you were speaking about earlier, Lee. We need to offload the dead wood. Once we do that, then I feel like we might have a little bit more flexibility in the market. But as it stands, we have to, if we're going to be going early, we're going to have to go on the back of the player wanting to come to us. I think that's where we're at with it, really. We can't be battling with anybody. And
another topic that we should be discussing is Marcus Rashford's season-long loan to Barcelona being confirmed last week. I think we touched on it last week, but now it's officially confirmed. And some people were saying, is it the end of his career? Is he going to get games? Is he going to be there sitting on the bench? And now you've even seen footage of him closing down. Dare he do such a thing as close down in a friendly? So, Bevan?
Well, you say that, but what does it say on Barcelona Stadium?
Misgetting club.
Huh? Yeah. And then one time Henri said, look at this, what's this about? And then the rest of the players come, I think it was Javi Iniesta said to him, how do you talk about this? You ain't done nothing here. And let him know. So he's going to go to there. He has to start. He's going to have to work if he's going to go to Barcelona. They're not going to let him do that. I think like it's a good move for him. I want to see Marcus Rashford do well. I don't like the way that he's been handled in the media and stuff like that. I know some of it's of his own doing, but like when like on TalkSport they're talking about him and his car, and he shouldn't be driving a
Range Rover,
a Buick or a Range Rover. Like I think it's despicable the way that they spoke about him, man.
It's jealousy. I think with Rashford, he has the opportunity to resurrect his career. This move to Barcelona may not be the move for him in terms of long term, but it could be if he's able to impress, it may be the type of move that earns him a move somewhere else. And the reason I'm saying that is because Barcelona can't afford to buy a chocolate bar right now. They just don't have no money. So I don't know what they're going to do in terms of registration, but they literally they're signing him because they need the extra bodies. I don't know. For me, he won't start for them because they've got Rafinha and Yamal. Or Yamal, I should say. So I don't see how he will fit into the starting lineup. But in terms of having bodies and because of the way their manager plays or expects the team to play, they're going to need legs because they have to work so hard.
High intensity. High intensity.
They've come out and said it. They said that at the end of last season, they did not have an option on the left wing. Mm-hmm. When it got to the crunch point, when Rafinha was getting tired, or they had no option. So in their minds, they needed someone of high quality to play left wing. Rashford's sitting there saying, I'm going to Barcelona. Mm-hmm. If it means I'm going to sit on the bench for a while, I'm going to play this game, that game. Yeah. It's better than sitting on the bench at Man United and doing nothing.
Exactly.
It's better getting vilified every week just because...
Yeah, and the Spanish media will look after him, innit?
Yeah, to a degree. If he performs,
if he puts in performances, he will. That's the key, right? I mean, he's gonna have structure. The coach don't take no mess, so realistically, he is not gonna get away with messing around. And I think because he's moved away from Man United and he's gone to Barcelona, which you kind of have to respect.
It's a big club.
If you don't respect it, then what are you doing? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But I think he's serious as well because he's taken a pay cut to go there as well.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how he plays. And I think I think he might do well right in Spain.
I think he will, bro.
Look what Anthony did, bro. Anthony did. I know Anthony played every minute while he was there, but Anthony got goals for Betis.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why Rashford, with his minutes, shouldn't be able to do that with the quality around him.
I mean, the last loan that Rashford did, the last loan that he went on was at Villa, and he didn't do himself a disjustice there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Very well. I was surprised.
So realistically, so I think they did try it, but when they realised unless they sell some players, they won't be able to cover his wages. So realistically, him going to Barcelona, he's lucky to get the opportunity in terms of just because he's not been.
It's a bigger move.
Necessary. No, but also just how he's been seen in how he's been. How he's been spoken about in the media. Yeah. Most big teams won't want to really go for a player that looks on paper, not paper, looks on the screen as bad as he may seem. However, they know that Rashford's class, and they're looking at the talent over everything else. So take him away from everything, give him an opportunity to play amongst other big name players, because he ain't gonna have that at United, and he ain't gonna have that for now at United anyway. And see if they can help him to kind of resurrect his career. And also, obviously, he's going to want to get into the World Cup next year with England. So they straight away know he's going to. They straight away know that he's going to put his best foot forward.
Okay. Well, another thing we'll chat about briefly, which was the lucky, what did you call it? The 6 lives of Aaron Ramsdale?
9.
Oh,
9 lives. He's used about 4 of them, 5.
He's a relegation king, I swear. Like, it's only Arsenal who has not relegated from the Premier League. So our Newcastle, is it a good move for Newcastle? Because Nick Pope, let's face it, with his feet, is a nightmare. And I think that's what causes them problems, Newcastle, because he's got them into a few issues with his feet. Shot stopping, good. And Aaron Ramsdale's good shot stopping as well. So is it worth them getting him in on a loan? It is a loan. I think it's a high loan fee. Get him in on a loan and having someone that's better with his feet? Or is it a case where we're going to get the same Ramsdale that we've seen at other clubs other than Arsenal? He just doesn't quite cut it.
I do think he's not going to get as many minutes as he did at them other clubs, though, like Southampton and stuff. So he weren't really, at Arsenal, he was on the bench quite a bit when Real kind of stepped out of his shadow, if you like. And then Ramsdale was on the bench more often than he wasn't. But everywhere else that Ramsdale went, he was more or less the main guy. Do you think so over Pope?
I think once he gets in, he'll stay in unless he makes a mistake.
I think it's a bit harsh on Ramsdale. If you think about the clubs that he's played for and with the ones that he got relegated, they had no chance of staying up. Like, none of them. They were all bad teams. True. So it is a bit harsh. Obviously, the one thing that messed him up was him saying about him getting bored after 15 minutes. Like that, that's something you got to keep to yourself, and you got to go seek help to make sure you can concentrate. You got to find a way to help counteract that. But it all depends.
Just keep it to yourself, brother.
Well, yeah, but if it's a problem, I'm saying get it sorted out, innit?
Yeah, it's true.
But for me, I think he is a good shot stopper. It is about how involved is he going to be in the game? Because if Newcastle are having a game where it's end to end, I think he'll be fine. I think it's the games where it's a bit too, it might be one-sided and then he has to do
Pressure's
something.
In his
and
box.
That's where he will come unstuck and make a mistake. Exactly. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad move for him. I don't think it's a terrible move for Newcastle. Nick Pope, we know, is the number one if he can stay fit. But it's not the worst move ever. We've seen players like Ramsdale before, and I just think the relegation thing is tough because he's been at pretty bad Premier League teams, really, to be honest.
I saw Pope against Arsenal on Saturday, and the mistakes he was making with his feet, I think that's fast-tracked them getting calling out Ramsdale and say, let's do this. Okay. So going back to the Wissa and Newcastle, I heard Tottenham were linked to him as well. I know Leon's saying that's dead. He's saying that's dead in the water. Brentford not looking to sign Wissa. Let Wissa go. Is that what you've heard, Lee?
I haven't even heard Tottenham have been after Wissa. I've heard about Newcastle bidding for Wissa and being rejected by Brentford. Brentford obviously don't want to completely have everything taken away from them. They've lost their manager. They've lost their star player in Mbumo. They don't really want to lose their
And
striker
captain.
as well. So I can understand why they're digging their heels in. They don't need to sell him. Again, it boils down to how much the team's willing to pay for him. We know that he's had one really good season, which was last season with 19 goals in the league. Before that, you would say he's a decent player, but he's only had one good season. We've already bought another striker that had that exact record of having one good season in the Prem, and the other seasons were single-digit goals. So I don't know. For me, I'm not blown away by bringing in Wissa, but we also need bodies. And right now, with just Richarlison, who's the new sick note of our squad, and Solanke, who's also injured at the moment, we might be desperate. So who knows? But right now, Tottenham are linked to a lot of players, but there is no movement on anything from what I can see anyway. So
So the Gibbs-White issue, you're going.
No, I was going to ask you. You jumped to what I was going to say. You read my mind. I was going to ask how you feel about the Morgan Gibbs-White saga.
I mean, what can you say, man? He looked a little bit under duress when he had to give that interview. Under the
Godfather moves.
Bro, it was
allegedly.
business, bro. I don't need to say allegedly, bro. The chairman's right there, innit? Marinakis is not a small guy, bro.
Giving the camera side eye as well,
saying, I felt wanted. Bro, you can feel wanted, but do you want to go to a bigger club?
Yeah.
For Marinakis, again, I think it's an ego thing. Tottenham finished 17th. They finished 5th or 6th. We have obviously made a bid that they didn't like. And I think the release clause being made public as far as they're concerned, we know that agents do that all the time. Agents will go and talk. If they know that a player or a club's interested, they will tell the team what kind of figure is needed to get that player. If that was confidential and Tottenham have found out about it, that's not Tottenham's fault. That's the agent that you need to go and sue. So we know this all the time. How many times have we seen players go for release fees? I just think they didn't want to lose him to Tottenham. I think if Man City can come in for him, there'd have been no problem. But it's Tottenham, and that's kind of how he felt. They're 17th. Why are we even? Why does he want to go there? So him signing a new deal, I didn't know the extent of the deal that he's now done. But I would say for him, but it wasn't. He didn't have 2 years, and it was an additional 1 year on top.
Yeah.
So he's getting probably a pay rise, and maybe the clause has changed slightly. I can imagine, but it is what it is, man. Morgan Gibbs-White would have been a decent signing, but I don't know if he moves the needle. I don't know if he's better than the players that we
Madison?
have. One
he's
thing
better than Madison, no?
He's more available than Madison, but the problem is with
he's better.
with both of them is they are attacking midfielders. You don't necessarily have consistency with them, and I was saying that about both of them. Like Madison on his day can control a whole game, but there's more games that he doesn't do that, or there's more games that he's poor. And I would say with Gibbs-White, I don't know if he moves the needle for Tottenham because he's played in a team where they've basically sat back on the back foot and they play counter-attack. How will he do when we're playing against low teams who play a low block all the time? That's the part where Tottenham have struggled for many years. And that's the reason why I don't know if he moves the needle. So I'm not that cut up about it. I think it's more of a sign of how low we've got that we can't even sign a player from Nottingham Forest without there being a hoo-ha about it. Yeah, that's where I think the disappointment is from a fan's perspective more than we're losing out on Gibbs-White. Because to me, it wasn't a needle mover. Like, I don't know. So surely, I would say...
Surely if his agent has told Tottenham what his release clause is allegedly, then like you make a bid around it. You don't kind of say like slap it on the.
This is Daniel Levy. No, but don't you remember when Arsenal bid for Suarez the how many 40 million and 1 pence or whatever that was at the time. We bidded like Tottenham are not, it's Daniel Levy in it. He's notorious for bidding low. And they had already done a deal which Nottingham Forest, remember, with Brennan Johnson, they thought that we had the better end of the deal, which I don't agree with. I don't feel like he was 50-something million. He was 50-something million. No way. They felt that they felt that we shortchanged them. So when they were under duress at PSR, they were like, we Tottenham got a better deal than they should have, blah, blah, blah. They capitalized on the fact that we needed to sell. Bro, we bought him higher than the value he was, 100%.
Okay, I thought that's because you bought him earlier. You bought him in the previous transfer.
No, they needed the money, bro. That's the reason why they felt. Transfer. But that was it. I still feel we overpaid. But either way, you might say he didn't because he's now scored the winner in the Europa League final. So you can say call it whatever you want. But I think it's just Forest digging their heels in, and the chairman is that kind of guy.
We saw that last season when he would chief up referees
many times, bro.
And the manager, he was going on wicked.
Going on wicked. Referee decisions, going on wicked.
Clauses. How can you have clauses where they favour the club so much, though? How can you I could never sign a clause where the club can say no. What's the point of having a clause where the club can say no?
It's true.
Well, the club are only saying
no. I don't think it's that. I think it's the whole. I think it was a better club. As far as they're concerned, if a bigger club than Forest comes for you, i.e. the Liverpool, Man United, Man United, I don't know now because of the league position, but a team that finished in the top four.
I see what you mean.
Being Chelsea, Man City.
So maybe it was like if you make Champions League through top six, you can do it. But
it might be something like that. I mean, rather than it might say the top. If there's a team in the top six, you can go. But we didn't finish in the top six. We are considered a big six because of the historical positioning and whatnot. But I just think they dug their heels in, and they were like, "No, it's Tottenham. They finished 17th. You ain't going."
All right. So another interesting one. I think the last two will be mainly Chelsea based, but we've got the very intriguing situation where João Felix has been on loan, hardly paid for Chelsea, and has somehow managed to turn Chelsea a profit.
Brother, you know what? Yeah? Do you know this thing with João Felix? Yeah, it reminds me of that part from Training Day. You know when Denzel walks into the room and he goes, "I got something on all you." Like Felix is just walking around and he's just like, "Right, I need to get paid. I need another big club. Yeah, I've got something on you. Yeah, throw a fee this way and I'll come over for half a season and play for 3 weeks and be injured." Like he's got quality. He showed everyone that he has quality. But since he showed us that glimpse, I haven't seen it again, bruv. It's been an absolute myth.
Bro, he's really good. He's like a really good trialist. Like for the first few games, you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, this guy can." I remember that first game he came for Chelsea, and I think they played West Ham, and I was like, "Rod, he's moving mad, moving in the pockets, link up play, 1-2s." And you're thinking he's going to be an absolute problem. And you know what? He done the same thing at Barcelona, did the same thing at AC. He's just one of those guys. I think personally, Al Nassr have done Chelsea a favour by making sure that they gave them the money. Remember, Saudi money, they don't 43 mil. Is like pocket change. They find that in the sofa because clearly, why would you spend that kind of money on someone who's not
had proven, a good couple of years? Yeah,
not had. He basically hasn't lived up to the status, and maybe the fee is what's had everyone kind of mad because when you look at the top 5 transfers ever, he's in there, and you're like, boy, it doesn't even make sense. Why is he there? But arguably, you could say the talent is there, but the application is not, and that's the thing. And him going there, he's gonna he has the potential to end up like Oscar was when he went to China, but we don't really know if he has the kind of application.
It was quality though, dog.
Bro, you know what it is?
Oscar was quality.
You know what it is though? You see 43 million now. 43 million is what you get for like a up and coming player or a player that's on the decline. Like it seems mad to say that 43 million when that was that superstars were getting sold for that kind of money. And now a player that's been like average he's been good in spurts, never really been like consistent. 43 million sounds a lot. But it's kind of the going price. But I don't know how Chelsea keep doing it.
It's not even that. What was it? Because let's be honest, he was on loan at Chelsea. He didn't do well. And then they went and signed him for 43 million. And it's like, how is that even possible? How can they sign for 43 million when they didn't do well? And then obviously there's a lot of talk of helping PSR, because what I'm saying is it's common knowledge that El Nassr are owned by PAF. PIF have a stake in Clear Lake, who own Chelsea. So they don't have a controlling stake, but they have a stake in Chelsea, who own Clear Lake. And ironically, their club is taking a player off their hands yet again, like they've done with the goalkeeper. What was it? His name? I forgot his name now. The old Senegalese goalkeeper, and Koulibaly.
Mendy.
It's a road. Well,
Mendy.
Mendy went
Mendy,
to Saudi Arabia, and Koulibaly went to Saudi Arabia. It's a road trodden, as they say, and they're helping him out nicely, very nicely. So
yeah. A lot of these players seem to be getting these moves, bruv. These scandalous moves where everyone's got to question how really viable. Well, not even viable, but is there some skullduggery going on behind the scenes? Yeah. Because there's no the only or Ronaldo called in a favor.
Working,
yeah. Or Ronaldo called in a favor, said, "Listen, help my brethren out. Honestly, he ain't got a club, man. Just sign him for 3 months, bro."
Does he own part of the club now with his new contract?
All that.
Isn't he part owner or something like that, Ronaldo?
Do you get what I'm saying? So, in his new contract, he's got percentages or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Felix better buck up his ideas, bro, because Ronaldo's going to be expecting mad assists right now.
Yeah.
Now he's there.
The thing is, though, Felix will go to Al Nassr, it don't work out there, and then he's going to go to the MLS.
Yeah.
Benfica wanted him. Benfica wanted him back, and Al Nassr just jumped in and nabbed him.
I think Al Nassr are in for Anthony as well, so that's speculation at the moment. I want to know if that's going to turn around. That's like 50, 60 mil in the bag.
Listen,
you are wishful thinking, mate.
Yeah. We need someone to take Nunes. But the last topic, so this is one that I'm not sure is actually going to happen, but it's one I sat there and thought, this could be possible. Because a few weeks ago, there was talk of Donnarumma not signing the contract at PSG. And Chelsea were linked because, as we all know, their goalkeeper isn't the best. And they've got a few of them. And then all of a sudden, PSG have now signed Lille goalkeeper Lucas Chevalier.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a case where there's a merry-go-round, because Donnarumma was linked with Chelsea, he was linked with Man City, who ironically have gone and bought back an old young goalkeeper.
Yeah, but they're still in for him though. By the way, Donnarumma. They're still interested in Donnarumma. They are still in. I think the Trafford thing is they're trying to find a backup for Edison. Yeah, because obviously he's a goalkeeper at the end of the day, and they need to have a backup because last season I feel like they caught a cold.
Their backup's good. Their backup's good.
Ortega's good. Yeah, I hear it. Man. But obviously, I feel like they're looking for someone.
He wants a first team goalkeeper.
Yeah, which ain't gonna happen. Not while Edison's there anyway and fit. But they know Trafford would be a good deputy, even though he's just come from.
Are you sure about that? Because Pep was kind of cold to Edison last season, man. He dropped him a few times. So
some of them were personal issues though on his side, on Edison's side. Like he had some things going on where he didn't feel ready to play. Although yes, Pep did do a couple of cold moves. So just kind of going back to Donnarumma. So that situation, Donnarumma, he hasn't signed a new contract. He's stalling for one reason or another. Maybe he sees something, that we're not aware of. But I know that PSG do want to keep him. However, they don't want to be held hostage. So I feel like, the fact that United, City, and I'm not too sure if there's anybody else kind of interested in Chelsea, yeah. I'm interested in him. Well, yeah, there's no surprise that, he may decide to make a move to the Premier League to kind of finish his career on, because he's not exactly a young keeper, let's be honest.
Bro, he's 26, bro.
He's
still a young keeper.
He's 26, bro.
He's been around.
I think this guy was 29, bro, 30.
No, bro. 16, 17, he came.
It's very dangerous for PSG, yeah. Well, I say very dangerous for them.
I'll take that back.
Because they didn't pay nothing for him. They didn't pay nothing for him.
Yeah,
free transfer. And he might do the same thing to them that he did to AC. AC fans were absolutely, they were so vexed with him because he left for free when obviously he came through their academy and whatnot. But boy, he could do the same thing with PSG. Obviously, for them, he's helped them win pretty much everything they can win in club football. So, yeah, I think he could just see it out and leave for free.
I just read now, though. I just read now that also Bayern Munich are in the race as well, as in having a look, not necessarily pitched anything, but they're having a look at him as well as a viable replacement.
Everyone will.
Everyone will,
because Neuer's ready to retire soon.
He'd be a good replacement for Neuer, though.
Yeah.
He'd be a good replacement for pretty much every goalkeeper in every.
But I'm saying, like for like, in terms of what Neuer brings to the table, he's not too dissimilar, is he? Let's be honest.
Oh, he is.
He's not
not good with his feet.
He's not as good on the ball.
And aerially, he's not good aerially either.
He's a bit shaky in the air as well.
He's got two weaknesses there, aerially and with his feet. He's not.
Great shot stopper.
Yeah, that's what it is. His shot stopping is fantastic.
Elite shot stopper. But
so the question I was going to ask, if he joined Chelsea, really said that Chelsea will be a threat, but how much would that improve Chelsea? Given what we said about aerially and not good with his feet, how much would that actually improve Chelsea if they signed him this summer?
Defensively,
I think most goalkeepers will be better than Robert Sanchez. I cannot believe that he's still there and he starts for them. I'll be honest, but like he would move the needle for them. He's the type of goalkeeper that can save you points 100%.
Yeah,
and he's less prone to mistakes than Robert Sanchez has been, I would say, in his time.
Okay, well, it has been an interesting week, an eventful week, and Liverpool are still yet to put their bid in. Hopefully, that bid will come in the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, and we could be talking about Liverpool having Isak by the time we record next. But thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Once again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and hit that notification button. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.